I downloaded my iRacing telemetry, took a screenshot of my lap versus a faster one, and asked ChatGPT to tell me why I was slower. The results? Actually useful and kind of surprising. If you're like me, you've probably stared at telemetry before and have no idea what to actually do with it. Tools like Garage 61 make it easy to compare lap times, but understanding why the faster driver is quicker, that's the hard part. So I tried something different. I took a screenshot of the telemetry comparison and asked ChatGPT to explain it. So to get our telemetry comparison on Garage 61, we're going to go to the Activity tab, and I want to compare a lap on Sebring from a race I did recently, so I can find that here, which is this one. And then I'm going to scroll down and I want to compare my best qualifying lap. So I'm going to click Analyze, and I'm going to click Create a New Analysis. And once I've done that, you can see my lap data here. I'm going to go to Configure and Add Laps. And I'm going to click Driving Activity at the top. And I want to find the driver that took pole in that race, which was Felix Votter. So there he is. And that should be the race 3 days ago, so that's the same event. And I'm going to take his best qualifying lap. So that is this one. I'm going to click the tick and apply. And then analyze selected laps. And now we have both our laps overlaid right here. So all I did next was take a screenshot of that page. Here it is, and I've uploaded that to ChatGPT using the little plus in the bottom left here. And I use this prompt. This is a screenshot comparing my Porsche Cup lap to a faster driver's at Sebring. What are they doing better, and what should I change in my driving or setup? And this is what it gave me. So it's basically said here, it's got our lap times and the difference. And it's highlighted that Sector 1 and Sector 2 were the biggest differences. And if we jump back to the comparison, we can see that is the case. So just over a tenth in Sector 1 and almost 2 tenths in Sector 2. So they're definitely the biggest places we can gain. So it's come up with some insights and suggestions. So we'll look at the first one, braking and trail braking. We can see that it's saying that Felix is doing a better job of trail braking and braking slightly later in some places. So that is something to look at. The second point, throttle application, Felix gets on the throttle more confidently and earlier, especially at corner exit, e.g. turns 5, 10 and 16. So we can have a quick look at turn 5, which is in Sector 3, I believe. And we can see that from the trace here, he definitely gets on the throttle before I do, just there. So that is correct. And if we jump back, steering input. So his steering inputs are smoother and less aggressive. So we can also see that here. So him being the blue line. So you can see that he's using less steering angle than me, and it's smoother throughout that corner as well. So that's another good point that it's picked up on. And then corner entry and line on the track map, Felix's line is subtly wider and more flowing entries and exits, which is visible here. On entry to turn 4, you can see that he takes a wider line on entry. So it's picked out some good points there already, but quite general. And it's also come up with some setup considerations, which we're not going to go into in depth now because I've done another video about that, which I'll put in the description, and I haven't really given it any parameters for that. So we'll ignore that bit for the moment. And it's given me some areas to prioritize in here. So turn 1, some confidence at turning and trail braking, the 3-5 complex, which we just looked at then, which we're losing quite a lot of time. So we looked at the line, and it's saying about throttle on timing as well. And then in the final sector, we've got a little bit as well. And then it asked me, would I like a corner by corner coaching breakdown? So obviously I said yes to see what it would come up with. And it gave me a really good breakdown on corner by corner. So obviously we want to focus mainly on these first two because that's where we're losing the most time. It did give me all of the sectors, but we're going to look mostly at these sector 1 and sector 2. So it's saying that Felix brakes later and trails in more smoothly, maintains a higher minimum speed, and he's got earlier throttle pickup. So if we jump back to the telemetry and we'll go to sector 1 and we'll zoom in a bit, we can see that he gets on the throttle harder, comes on slightly later, but then he's at full power a lot quicker than me. So that is a good point there. And then we can look in a bit more detail here. So you can see that he's going tighter on exit as well. So he's probably apexing slightly later than us. If we go right in, yeah, he is. See? So that has allowed him to, so you can take what it says and you can kind of look into it a bit more and find other things. But that's a good thing to know for turn 1. And then we can jump back and we'll have a look at the sector 2 part. So cleaner brake to throttle transitions, smoother steering, which was mentioned earlier on as well. And it gives us some other things to focus on here. So yeah, it's given us some really useful information there. Telemetry makes more sense when you can ask questions about it, and using ChatGPT like a race engineer might actually help more drivers learn faster. If you want to try this yourself, just grab a screenshot from Garage 61, add a little context, and ask ChatGPT to break it down. I've dropped a prompt template in the description if you want to copy it. If you found this video useful, please do consider subscribing to the channel, and look forward to seeing you all on track. Catch you next time.